Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Coco's here. I'm coming to give an update on my remote nursing job. If you're new here, my name is Coco. I am an LPN of 6 years and I work remote. In my last video, I talked about how I um, quit my PRN night shift job, which I wasn't on the job for long. Um, and I let that one go because at the time I just didn't have a lot of time to go in. Well, not that I didn't have time, it's just what the schedule allowed, or the demands that they needed me to meet, I couldn't meet them basically. Um, and pretty much I was given an ultimatum in a sense, So um, I had to just resign in the time being. It was a nice place. I think I shared my only takeaway from that place, but I had no real issues or anything. So, anyways, without further ado, I'm going to jump right in with the update. So, I'm still working at the company that I started in January. I was working remote as a remote patient monitor within my company. And my company also has chronic care management. So, about a month and a half ago, I was switched to CCM because the team that I was on, that I got hired on to, we didn't have um, the patient. Um, I guess we didn't have the amount of patients that we were expected to have at the time um, with a certain clinic. And at the time, they were expecting about 5,000 patients within the clinic. It was a really big clinic. And so we only had 700. And they hired on all these nurses. At a point, my team was growing, we were booming, people were great. And I'm like, okay, I was really, it was like, I love it. But it came to a point where we were all kind of taking each other's patients because we had a set patients assignment. And at the time, I had an assignment, but I was moved to low alerts, which is, I guess I'll get more into what RPM is. And I'm just kind of giving a brief overview on the position. So, let's fast forward. I was moved from RPM to CCM, which is chronic care management. Now, not that I don't like chronic care management, it's just that I wanted a change. I did chronic care management at my last company, um, and it was cool. You call patients monthly, um, and you pretty much check in on them. You ask them a few questions if they've been to the hospital, if they had any falls, and then you discuss their chronic conditions. So with this company, we talk about one condition each month, and we rotate those conditions, and we educate them on how to manage them, and make sure they're adhering to their medication regimen. And we ask for community resources if they need any resources, they need any refills, things like that. Um, and so I've been with a clinic within this company, for a month and a half, and it's cool. I only have 127 patients right now, and it's a new program to the clinic, I believe. And so right now I'm kind of at the bottom of the barrel because I'm on second calls, and it's only the third week of the month, and so they're trying to get me onto another clinic, actually two other clinics, so that way if I don't have any work here, then I'll just hop on and just pick up calls in that clinic. So with that being said, I really don't, I don't want to do chronic care management. I don't. Um, RPM, let's talk about that. RPM is where um, you have patients who are given or who are sent blood pressure monitors, um, pulse oximeters, scale, and what else? One more other thing. I think um, blood sugar monitors. And they do have temperatures, but we didn't do temperature. We didn't have that. Um, and so there are parameters that um, they have parameters that the doctor put in place, um, where the blood pressure or whatever the vital signs are. It shouldn't fall below this, or it shouldn't go high as a certain number. So, like, for instance, blood pressure. um, a lot of patients, if the blood pressure was above 160, that's in high alert. We have to call them within an hour. um, and if their blood pressure fell below, I think, 90 over something. So they have different parameters for the diastolic, I mean the systolic and the diastolic. um, so if it was lower, we have to call them. We have to assess for symptoms, see how they're doing, how they're feeling, if they had their medications for the day, and we have to educate them on how to take their medications, what to eat, and pretty much change their lifestyle. And sometimes there are patients that we call every single day because their blood pressure is high every single day. And um, we pretty much go through the process. We educate them, we have them recheck their blood pressure over the call. And um, now that's high alerts. And then you have medium alerts. And there are parameters that meet the medium alerts requirements. And if it's like, a certain reading, we still have to call them. We have, I think, until the end of the day to call them with that. And low alerts is where their blood pressures are within normal limits. We call them monthly. So that's pretty much how it went. And I liked it. I enjoyed RPM. It was pretty straightforward. Other than some patients kind of didn't like you calling every month, or sorry, every single day. But you would kind of have that patient's rapport. They'll say, "Oh, this is Coco calling. Coco, I'm doing okay. Took my medication. I'll recheck it for you." So you have patients that were really sweet, that will just they really appreciated the program, and there were some that were just like, "Oh, why are you calling me?" I didn't have many of those people, so thank God. um, Maybe in the beginning it was kind of like a little annoying to them, but for the most part, I liked it. Um, so when I made the switch, when they switched me over to the CCM side, I wasn't too happy. I was in my feelings. I'm so sorry. I'm very sensitive. Like, not that um, I'm not that I'm not open to change, because I am, but I feel like sometimes change for me can be, a little scary because it's like, I don't know, like, and like I said, I have experience in CCM, but I didn't want to go back to CCM. I wanted to try something different. I'm actually looking into switching from the whole RPM CCM program, and I've been applying to other positions. So if you're here watching this video and you're an LPN and you work something other than CCM RPM, let me know. I know there are other positions like telehealth, there's utilization review, there are clinical reviewers, all those great positions. Um, I'm open to those. Um, anyways, and another thing, I am now open to find another PRN on the weekends. So I have applied to a few. I just, want to get into the position where I'm able to save. There's some things that my family and I are looking to do as far as travel and, other things that, we have plans, and I just want to be able to save. Now I am able to save with this position. It doesn't pay a lot. Honestly, I took a big pay cut, like from bedside, working remotely. And, but thank God I am married. Um, and my husband, he pays, um, he's, the main breadwinner. So I'm able to take what I make as my salary and put some aside. And I do have some bills, some credit card bills and all that I'm taking care of. I'm trying to pay off debt. And that's one reason why I also want to get another PRN, and um, specifically the weekends. Like I am, I know that I've had my home health. Oh, and that too, I didn't update you guys with that one. My home health, I hadn't gone to that position in about 2 months, 2 or 3 months. And same thing with them. They said, well, you haven't been active in a while. Either you resign, or you come pick up a shift, whatever, or pick up work. And I love the home health job. That one was like really straightforward. I did visits, did a lot of blood sugars, did some wound care, and I enjoyed it. um, but I'm looking to doing another PRN or part-time at night, just so that way I can make more money, um, to save. um, what else? I think that's about it. I'm sorry. This is like, I didn't plan for this video. I don't think I planned for any of my videos, but I will get better with that. I need to really organize my videos, and so I'm not rambling. But I hope that answer your question. Or you were saying any advice? I believe that you should try both. If your company will allow it, like start off with RPM, see how that goes, and see if they have any openings for CCM, and go from there. So, but let me know if I can answer any more questions, or if that was clear or not. But all the best. Thank you. Bye. God bless.